the funny thing about Tesla is all the exciting stuff happening at Tesla right now, hardly anyone's paying attention to the only thing that matters at Tesla, which is their humanoid division, their Optimus division. So I put out a tweet thread back in January of this year, almost a full year ago. And it was a 15-part tweet thread when no one was talking about humanoids. And it was how the Optimus division of Tesla by 2030 could be valued at $10 trillion.
Tesla stock is up almost 2.5% in overnight trading, but as you've seen from the start of this video, that is not what we are going to talk about. We know why Tesla's up 2.5%. Model Q's coming faster than expected, while Elon says the new Model Y is selling like hotcakes. Okay, that was big news we talked about earlier today. This is some quote-unquote insider information from Chris here. You probably know who he is. If not, just Google Chris Camillo and you'll learn all about it. But he's actually investing in the top AI companies right now, specifically in robotics, Tesla being one of them. He said earlier in this interview that he is highly levered right now to Tesla, considering the fall in Tesla stock. That's something. And he's also invested in Figure, which is actually knows the CEO of Figure and another robotics company that he's a venture, investor in. Now, Figure specifically is backed by OpenAI and Microsoft. They look like they could be one of Tesla's top competition for Optimus, but as you can see here, Tesla is going to be very successful. And the reason I share this with you, a third video of the day, doesn't happen all too often, is because this is critically important as Tesla is down 27% and Wall Street is not paying attention. This is a core principle of my $900 price target by the end of this year. And let me tell you, after this whole clip, you will walk away from this video jacked up about Tesla stock, just as I did. Again, the real reason I feel compelled to make this video right now, again, Tesla's down 27%. This is really being underlooked, but I will not have you less informed than Wall Street, than the big guys, the quote unquote smart money. If there is something you need to know, I will bring you that information no matter what time of the day it is. So take a listen to this, sit back, enjoy, and let me know what you think down below in the comment section. We will be back to discuss this in more depth afterwards.
And now I'm like 300 hours deep into humanoid robotics research. I converse with humanoid engineers around the world. I talk to other investors that are invested in either Figure or Aptronic or both. And we talk about this 7 days a week. Like, we're doing deep research. We're analyzing the technology. We're trying to assess how quickly it's going to be adopted by the world. Because we're investors in these companies, we have like insight that almost no one else in the world has from their CEOs that I can't speak about on this show because I'm under NDA from both companies. And all I can say is that what I have seen with my own eyes is unbelievably real, and this is happening. This is no longer like a 50% or 90% or 95%. It's like 100%. We are going to have humanoid robots that are going to be doing commercial physical labor that will be able to do any job on Earth before long. And we're going to have access to infinite labor in our world. Think about what it's like to have access to infinite physical labor. What would we build? What industries would evolve from that? How would that change our world? Imagine, there's 100 million people in the world who spend the bulk of their prime years when they should be getting married, having kids, having a joyous life. They spend those years taking care of a parent or grandparent. Not often in our world, but in most of the world, that's common. That's insane. It's actually insane. Could you imagine spending the bulk of your prime years just wiping the butt of your granddad? Well, that's a story that Jeff tells about his grandparents. And that's one of the inspirations of why he started Aptronic. And for 10 years has been trying to build this humanoid robot. And we have a few of these humanoid companies around the world, not many, a few that are truly real and commercial and scalable, that are going to be, I think, become some of the largest companies on Earth. And right now they're very small, except for one, Tesla, right? And so Tesla's not small, but what the funny thing about Tesla is all the exciting stuff happening at Tesla right now, hardly anyone's paying attention to the only thing that matters at Tesla, which is their humanoid division, their Optimus division. So I put out a tweet thread back in January of this year, almost a full year ago. And it was a 15-part tweet thread when no one was talking about humanoids. And it was how the Optimus division of Tesla by 2030 could be valued at $10 trillion based on them only producing 1.5 million robots at $100,000 a year lease rate, which is going to be the going rate for commercial robots. Yeah.
Lease.
So commercial robots will be leased to the world. So they won't be, you can't buy them. These are robots that you'll see in factories, the robots that you'll see in warehousing and logistics facilities all around the world. There's demand for tens and tens of millions of these robots. And it's not because these companies want to displace humans. None of them do. These companies simply want to grow. They simply do not have the physical labor they need to grow. So these robots will allow them to grow. Depending upon who you believe, we have somewhere between a 50 million and 350 million human labor shortage by 2030 for physical labor. So we need 50 to 350 million human physical laborers, and we're just not getting them. If you talk to these companies around the world, they cannot find young people to do these jobs that older people are doing, physical labor, laying foundation to all this stuff. So the demand is through the roof. But forget about the demand. I mean, imagine having infinite physical labor on Earth. What can we build? What can we do? Like, how would our lives change? Imagine every human, as you got older, you had someone to take care of you, right? To help you get up, get out of bed, get to the bathroom, someone to take your trash out. It would allow you to live a more productive, humane life in your older years. It would dramatically increase like the quality of life for almost every human on Earth. Positive things, right? And only positive things for our world.
What is the current state of humanoid robot engineering? What companies are at the forefront of that, and kind of what is the product that they've been able to produce so far?
So there's 3 in the US. There's Tesla with Optimus, there's Figure AI in San Francisco, and there's Apptronic in Austin. Apptronic has been mostly kind of fly under the radar, I think on purpose, but I think we're going to hear a lot more about Apptronic in the next year. There is Boston Dynamics, which is owned by Hyundai. They actually made an experimental robot for 10 years. It's the one that we all saw videos of, and we think is really cool. Yeah. Well, the dog, but also the big one that would do the flips and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is that's an experimental robot that has, hydraulic actuators. It costs like over $1 million to make. It's not a commercially viable robot that you could put in a factory or you can put in a warehouse to move boxes. Do you know how many boxes are moved a year commercially? Like, just think, what would you guess? Just get commercial boxes move from trucks to warehouses.
Did you say in the world or
globally? Yeah, globally. Just take a wild guess.
Probably 10 billion.
No, I'm gonna say 2 trillion.
Yeah, so I did some cocktail napkin math. I'm pretty good at it, but it could be off. But I estimated about 9 trillion boxes a year. I think there are some stats that support a number in that range. But just that alone, moving boxes. And by the way, no human on Earth should have to live their entire life moving sheet metal from 2 feet behind them to 2 feet in front of them for 45 years. Lower back issues, their older years are horrible, right? Those jobs won't exist for humans in 30 years. And that's a good thing. We need to take care of these people in the interim time. And by the way, like I said, no one's displacing these humans anytime in the next 10, 20. Like, we need more physical, not displacing the ones we have. We need to keep the ones we have, but add more. The next generation, they don't want to do that work. But these bot companies right now, it would blow your mind how advanced they are and how quickly they're moving. Like every month, it would literally melt your mind. Like, the things that I've seen, like, it's wild how quickly they're moving. And I haven't even seen everything yet. But they will be doing commercial work next year. There will be humanoid robots in 2025 in factory settings doing physical labor jobs next year in small batches. There's a lot of learning, a lot of edge cases, right? So they'll be working in controlled settings. We're going to try to get them up to human speed, right? Because right now they're not fully at human speed. But I think people in this sector are adamant that they can get up to about 120 to 150% of human speed eventually.
And they wouldn't have like 9 to 5 work hours either.
No. They'll be working 23 plus hours a day. So the batteries last about 4 hours. In some cases, they're hot swappable. In other cases, they're rechargeable. I mean, there's a lot of different approaches, and different companies are taking different approaches. And that part's not even that important. But they'll be able to work 23 hours a day. Yes.
You could have robots hot swap the battery.
They will be. No, they will be.
Yes.
No,
Hilarious.
they will be. They 100%. That's going to happen. But again, the humans, if any humans were to get displaced, they're going to be doing better things that are probably making more money than they make currently. So, but this is happening, guys. It's not happening like right this second, but we're not talking about 10, 15 years away. When Elon says something, I don't believe it, but it might be true, but I don't assume it's true. But all this talk that if you read between the lines, the stuff Elon's been saying about humanoids, it's not fully true, but it's kind of true.
And this is, again, something that Wall Street is really not paying attention to. Optimus is so far off of hedge funds and institutions' radars. Like, it's seen as really a lottery ticket for Tesla. Tesla's really not trading based on Optimus. To some degree, of course, you're going to take in everything, but it's the cars division. It's batteries, energy, storage. That is the fastest growing segment for Tesla. It is robotaxis. It is more sales from cheaper, lower priced Teslas. In fact, we got news today that the Model Q is on track to even come out sooner, faster than we thought, which is one reason why I do believe Tesla is moving higher, at least in overnight trading right now. But Optimus, as Chris said there, is really the biggest thing for Tesla that nobody is paying attention to. And I think it's hard to disagree with that. With that said, I think later this year, at some point this year, this will start to be really an area of optimism for Tesla, that we will need to see better and bigger things priced into Tesla stock later this year. And that's one reason why I have a $900 price target to begin with on Tesla. And after hearing this, it does make me even more confident that we will see those levels by the end of this year. Worth mentioning, though, is, again, Tesla has to execute on their path forward. As far as Optimus, Tesla is guided for some production by the end of this year to be used internally at Tesla. Tesla says they could use a couple thousand Optimus bots at Tesla alone, doing the quote-unquote boring or dangerous tasks that people do not want to do. And that is the case at every single company in the world. The demand for Optimus is going to be basically unlimited. Now, as Chris said, there will be robots next year performing commercial tasks. And that's going to get priced into Tesla this year, long before you even see the first licensing, commitment from another company to purchase Optimus bots. And again, with Tesla down so much from all-time highs, I do think this is something that we should pay very close attention to. That, Tesla's down still 27% from all-time highs. That, my friends, is an opportunity. And like I've said before in many videos, like I really don't even listen to music. I take in as much information as possible. And when things are so big and so important that I feel like you guys need to know about it as soon as possible, I'll make a video, that at night. I'll make a third video. I will not let you guys go ill-informed or not have the most up-to-date information. Sometimes information that Wall Street doesn't have. Like, this is not information that Wall Street has. It's not. Nobody on Wall Street really understands this to a deep level like you now do after watching this video. So there's obviously more we could cover on this topic, but I do want to keep this kind of short, sweet, straight to the point. It is late and, thank you guys for joining me. There's going to be a lot more to discuss in due time. And good news is, I don't think Wall Street's going to pick up on Optimus progress and where that's heading overnight. I think by the end of this year, we're really going to be talking about Optimus a lot more. And that should be exciting to you, to give you some time to get into your positions, more fully. And again, I expect $900 will be achieved by the end of this year. That sounded crazy in 2024 when I said Tesla would end 2024 at $400+ per share. Tesla stock hit $138 per share. You couldn't even imagine the level of hate that I received during that time. What happened? Tesla closed at over $450 per share in 2024. I know it sounds crazy that I think the stock will be $900 by the end of this year, but trust me, it's not. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. There's a lot of things that need to go right for Tesla to reach $900 per share. And that's, yes, a very optimistic price target, but I do believe things are going to go right. I do believe rates will fall. I do believe Elon and the current administration's policies are going to be ones that are good, that foster growth, that reduce regulation and let companies thrive. If I'm wrong on that, then I'm going to be wrong. But I don't think there is any evidence to suggest that is the case now. And for everyone that is bearish on Tesla, they're clearly not paying attention. Let me know what you guys think about this information down below in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.